Hello, I'm Neil Quigley and welcome to my podcast. UKIP leader Paul Nuttall has said he needs time to sort out the mess the party is in. I just hope he sorts it out in less time than it took him to cause it. This week the Houses of Parliament debated concerns that women are being forced to wear high heels for work. Surely to a degree that depends on your job. I mean, if you are a lap dancer, heels possibly could help. And builders, of course, they're made to wear steel toe caps on their boots or shoes. Has anyone ever been sacked for refusing to wear heels? I mean, Eddie Izzard hasn't, clearly. It was the budget this week, and Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn claimed the latest budget was based on utter complacency. Ironically, missing the reason it could be that is due to the lack of opposition currently. It's the same reason Bayern Munich are running away with the Bundesliga. I've always thought the government and politics in general is a weird setup when you think about it. In the real world, if you had a business that was run by one group of people who made all the final decisions and plans, but you also employed another group of people in replica jobs but with no power, who spend all day criticising you and saying you were doing it all wrong and telling you how it should be done, how long would it be before that company went bankrupt? About every 15 years on average would seem to be the answer to that. I do love the way Donald Trump regularly says of news agencies that they make up stories, and then he comes up with so many ridiculous unsolicited claims himself, it's unbelievable. I'm not saying he's unstable, but the Leaning Tower of Pisa seems to be more grounded than he is. Tony Blair denies claims that he's trying to become Donald Trump's Middle East envoy. Hang on a second, wasn't he our peace envoy out there? I'm not sure if you noticed, but the situation did not seem to improve under his leadership. If anything, it may have got worse. So maybe he wasn't the right man for the job anyway. George Galloway has just announced plans that he intends to become a children's author, which is just as scary and as worrying as the day that Sweeney Todd opened his barber shop. Saw this headline this week, cautious optimism for Vauxhall deal. Do you know what my first thought was? That's an odd name for a new car. It's a little bit defeatist, if you ask me, and not as punchy as Astra or Cavalier. Jimmy Carr was on Desert Island Disc this week, and he admitted he was worried that his tax issues could have ended his career. I mean, hopefully he finds things a lot easier now that you can pay your car tax online. A British Airways flight to Barbados was delayed for 5 hours due to a lack of toilet paper on board. Unfortunately, that meant the passengers couldn't go for 5 hours. Good news for people who are trying to eat a little bit healthier. Some chocolate bars will now contain 10% less sugar from next year, which is great news, as it means you can eat an extra 10 of them a week, right? This amazed me this week. We can pinpoint where all our friends are at any given time in the entire world, thanks to Facebook and other social media tools, and yet we are shocked and amazed that security services use our phones to track us. Some music news. Adele has confirmed she is now actually married. If she is finally in a happy and loving relationship, how on earth is she going to write any new songs? I do love Ed Sheeran. He's amazing and he's absolutely broken the charts this week. I think he's a brilliant singer and performer. But one question, why has he let a 5-year-old scribble all over his right arm with crayons? If you don't know what I mean, just find a picture of him in a t-shirt and have a look. I'll be honest, I can see why this was actually banned, but it did make me laugh. Do you remember those milk adverts that used to mention Accrington Stanley and Ian Rush? Well, a vodka company in Dorset actually found the original actor, who's now grown up, and did a parody version to promote their product. It's what Ian Rush drinks. Do you know what? I'm more likely to believe Ian Rush would have drunk vodka than drunk milk, if I'm perfectly honest. In sports news, Greg Rutherford was cheated out of money by a former manager to fund his gambling addiction. Ironically, he never backed the long jumper to win gold in 2012 though. Joey Barton's FA hearing into charges he made 1,260 bets over a 10-year period has been postponed. What were the odds on that, I wonder? In European football, Barcelona came back from 4 goals down to win through in the Champions League against PSG, which now knocks Lazarus' comeback off the #1 spot in the process. This week, burglars raided Chelsea captain John Terry's mansion while he was out. I really hope they didn't steal his Champions League winners' medal. He had to work really hard for that. There was uproar this week as a high-profile feminist decides to do a risque photo shoot. I mean, they want to be treated as equals, but then they trump us by displaying their womanly features. I bet those pictures of Emma Watson made a few 20-something Harry Potter fans rediscover their wands. Brown snakes have wreaked havoc among the bird populations on a Pacific island, much like when Russell Brand was at the height of his powers. Makers of the brand new ITV Nightly Show have denied the fact that they only let people host it for 1 week, because any more than that would completely ruin their careers. Nicole Kidman has said she was clapping like a seal at the Oscars as she was worried about damaging her ring, which is always a concern for all actors backstage at these showbiz events. Steps are making a comeback, or to put it another way, they're retracing their careers. That's it for this week's podcast. Thanks for listening. Have a great 7 days. See you next week. Bye.